Well, hello, everybody. I'm Rick Dancer. Welcome to Get Real with Rick Dancer. I'm so glad we're finally doing this show. Okay, the entire town of Lebanon can stop emailing me. I'll tell you what, you guys love your town, and I'm so proud of you, and I love it. I'm not making fun of you. I think it's actually it's wonderful that you care that much about your town. Lebanon is in the running for a T-Mobile. We're going to talk more about it. Well, I'll let people who know what it's about, but they could get like $1 million to help rebuild their stadium, which their stadium's in dire need. It's from the 1800s. I'm kidding. Joshua, who's the old preacher, the old time preacher guy. So this is going to be the positive start part of our show. And they're looking for your help. And you guys, you don't have to give any money. It's not, I mean, you can, but it's not about giving money. Oh yeah, let me put the link in here. There's a link. I'm going to put it in there. All you got to do is vote for them. And we'll find out where they are in the running, but they're doing really, really well. And so we want you guys to get involved, but we want to tell you about the project. And I know if I just post this on my page that all you're just going to thumb by it because it's like, oh, somebody asking for money. And they're not asking for money. They just want your support. There's a small rural town in Oregon, the kind of towns that get ignored by our governor and other government agencies. And in fact, I get to bring this up. I won't make them, but they asked the governor to, just support them, say she supports them. And she came back with, we don't do fundraisers. This isn't a fundraiser. All you need is your support, Governor Kotek. So that's all you have to do is say, I like the idea. Maybe a short little video like the governors of the other states have done, a little video that just says, hey, I like these people. I think they deserve to have this. That's all we're asking for, Tina. So buck up and do something. Come on. Kenneth, is Kenneth part of our program, Amanda? I'm going to bring him in. So let me bring our guests in. We've got Craig. We've got Stephen. And now wait, it's not the whole town. And then we got Kenneth. Look at and behind door number one, behind door number two. This is the group who's going to talk with us tonight about what's going on in Lebanon. Oh, you guys are so nice on the comments. People are so happy that people love your town, don't they?
Yes, we do.
Oh my God. You guys are, I mean, look at the support you have. You got people that just really like your town. Because I have never had as many emails on a topic. And I mean, this could have been for, underwater basket weaving, and I still would have done it just because to get these people off, to get them told. Amanda, you kind of got this put together. Tell me what's happening.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So we are in the running for $1 million prize package from T-Mobile right now. We're second in the nation. We hit the ground running as a community when we entered this contest over the summer. And over a few thousand entries, and we're in the top 25. So not just that, but we're second in the running for votes. Right now we have over 400,000 votes. The voting link is open daily. You just scan a QR code and vote with any valid email. It's super easy. I think that the greatest stress of this project and what brings so much passion from our hometown for this particular project is that our stadium has been closed permanently as of April 2025 due to unsafe conditions. Yes. So we don't currently have a stadium on our home field.
So where do you play football?
So the field is open. It's the grandstands.
Well, but I mean, if this is how Lebanon is, you're not keeping people. I know small towns, football game on Friday night, that's where everybody hangs out. So where are they sitting?
We have commandeered the visitor side and added a couple small bleachers on the home side for the visitors. And it is standing room only on all sides on a home game Friday night.
So, Stephen, why did you get involved with this?
I flip burgers at the games on Friday nights. I work with a couple guys there, and we flip burgers. I went to high school there, along with everybody in this group. We all went to high school there, and we all love this community so much that it means that much to us. We out and promote it and get out there. And as you can see, like second in the country right now in voting, and it's impressive. We're a small town It's a great small town. There's a reason I moved back to it. So,
Craig, are you a coach?
I'm the athletic director at the high school.
Okay, because Stephen kept calling you coach, and I thought there had
He was.
unless he's
Stephen was in school.
he doesn't look like a life coach, like one of those life coach guys.
I wouldn't.
Gonna
I
change
wouldn't
my
qualify
world, but he
for
looks like
life.
he'd kick my ass if I didn't do the football thing right. So in terms of your school district, and I mean, there's no budget for something like this, right?
Well, I mean, for a topic this size, no, this is not an annual budget type of item, right? So our goal is to find revenue streams that we can help with the project without putting the burden solely on the taxpayers. And we felt this T-Mobile Friday Night Lights contest, if we could find a way to get through that, would be an awesome thing to help not only get the stadium part going, but just get the momentum and the community rallying behind the need to do so. And they've come out. I mean, our community right now is absolutely rocking this thing. I mean, both Amanda and Steven were in school when I was teaching. Kenny and I graduated together. Kenny's the mayor of Lebanon. I think Kenny, our freshman year, we were locker partners or something.
Yeah, I think it was that.
Yeah.
A couple of years.
So, I mean, this community is pretty tight knit, and we're showing up in strong force behind this thing, and it's been fun to watch.
So, Kenneth, what does this say about your little town there?
Well, first off, thank you for having us.
Oh,
I
my
want to
pleasure.
say that for giving us time on your platform. I really deeply appreciate that. What's it say about the community that we have buy-in? We're bought into this community. It means a lot to us. The stadium is not only, Amanda mentioned it earlier, it's not only for football. We use it for a lot of other events. It's a focal point for community gatherings at some point. In the past, we've even had a community leader that passed on, and they held his service there. So it's a very important part, an integral part of our community. And like as Craig alluded to a little bit ago about revenue sources or funding sources, just like in local government, we have to layer funding sources to make things happen sometimes. And this is one of those times. We're very happy, very pleased actually that the T-Mobile is provided a program like this for communities. And let's be honest, it's fun competing against other people around the nation. So we're going to keep fighting and keep doing the best we can and get out there and vote. That's all I can really say.
So Amanda, who's the one that's like, what state is coming up behind you or city that we need to be watching,
Yeah, it's Dirk's, Arkansas.
Arkansas?
Yes.
How dare they try this? Those Razorbacks, they don't get in.
Well,
So-
they're definitely I think at this point this morning is 80,000 votes ahead.
Of you?
Yes.
Okay, Lebanon, get off your behinds. Come on.
So we're
This is
like almost double
unacceptable.
ahead of the third place, but we're, as of today, 80,000 behind first place, which is Dirk's, Arkansas. So we
when
need
does
votes.
this all end? How late do you have to do this?
October 24th.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
So that's like 2 weeks.
Yep.
2
15
weeks
days.
and a day.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Lord.
Rick, this finalist round was a 4-week competition, right? So voting just opened for this part of the competition at the end of September. So it's a 4-week competition. Along with the voting, there's 4 spirit challenges that our kids are performing. If you complete the spirit challenge for the week, T-Mobile gives you bonus votes. So it's
What's the spirit challenge? What did you do?
first week it was the run through banner, right? This week it's Magenta Week. We printed over 1,200 of those pink T-shirts for the occasion. Our student body's doing some pretty cool things with pink covers over their phones, stuff like that we're posting to our social media platforms. And we've got a couple ladies in the school on staff, our cheer coach Jenny and Wendy, our office manager, who are really knocking these spirit challenges out of the park.
Well, and somebody just wrote in here and said, back to the governor of Arkansas made a video supporting them, and Tina Kotek, our governor, won't make one because I guess the reason was they don't do fundraisers. But this really isn't a fundraiser, so it kind of blows me away that this is such an easy go. You know what I mean? It's like, it's a small town in Oregon, and you're just trying to trying to actually save your taxpayers' dollars. Seems like a good thing to me, but I don't know. I'm not in that realm. So
yeah, we're focusing on what we're doing, right? As a town, as a school district, we're focusing on the positives of what our community's doing, and we have lots of local representatives supporting this. So
I had a bunch of your people, like people from Sweet Home, were writing me too.
Oh,
and
yeah.
saying, I live in Sweet Home. It's like, but I always knew, I mean, there's, not some rivalry, but there's also some, I mean, I think this is an Oregon thing. If you guys win this, you're not just winning it for Lebanon. This is like for all of us,
Team
and
Oregon.
Yeah, it puts you on the map, and I think it says a lot about rural Oregon too. So Kenneth, tell me about Amanda. I mean, she seems like a little pistol.
She is. In fact, if I remember right, she helped me on my first campaign. If I remember right, did you help me hand out? Yeah, I was going to say we walked neighborhoods and handed out campaign materials, and yeah, she's very motivated. I'll say it that way. Very motivated, and that's the type of people we need for winning these type of competitions. So.
Did we lose Rick?
I think we lost Rick.
Yeah.
Well, as a third generation alum from Lebanon High School, raising fourth generation graduates from Lebanon, my buy-in is huge. The amount of heart that I have seen pour out for this project is absolutely amazing. And it's an honor to get to sit here on this call with you guys and with Rick and do this together as a community. I think it speaks volumes to the type of close-knit, hardworking community we have here in Lebanon.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's really cool to see that of all the schools that entered into this, to see that, we've come out kind of swinging at the top. It's pretty cool to see that.
It's pretty unreal. Like,
yeah,
as somebody who is from here, been here most of my whole life, to see this happen in our small town, I feel like it's like a once in an era type opportunity for us and for the generations before and after. So it's just a really neat thing.
He's back.
You guys, did you just keep talking while I was
on?
Yeah. Thank you. I don't know what happened. It disappeared, and I'm on there Googling, how do I get my StreamYard back? And I come back on, and of course, guess who's talking? Amanda. Amanda, you just want, I'll go have a beer if you just want to take over.
I'm so glad to be here with you. That's what I was saying. I'm honored to be sitting on this.
I don't need to be here,
with the obviously. 4 of you.
You're cuter than me. You have a pink shirt on, and you're trying to take over my show. What the hell?
The color of Lebanon right now.
So what did you talk about while I was gone? Hopefully it wasn't anything, because God, what a lousy host. He just disappears on us. Did it freak you out when I left?
I didn't know if
he
doesn't
like
stop the screen or what.
Now I'm afraid to touch anything. God.
We just talked about how cool it is that growing up in this little town, you don't think that we're worth much in the grand scheme of like every little town in Oregon or in the country. And now we're in this competition and we're, fighting at the top out of 2,200 schools. It's really cool to see that, it makes you have some pride.
Well, we need that right now in
absolutely.
Our country and in our state and in our communities, is to feel that something that brings us together.
Right.
And this is such an easy thing that, people are always saying, what can I do for, rural Oregon? What can I do for people like this? And here's a really easy way to participate. And you guys, all you have to do is there's a link at the top in the comment section. You just click it and go on, follow the instructions, and you can do it every single day. So you could vote 11 times if I'm right on my math, but it's close to that or more.
Any valid email works too.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
and Rick,
if I have 2 emails, you're saying I can.
Any valid email works.
Yep.
Well,
hey, Kenneth, I got a question for you. Since we're talking about small towns, as the mayor, what do you love most about Lebanon? Don't say Amanda, because she just put up this smiley thing like, oh, vote for me, vote for me.
Oh my gosh.
I think it's the closeness of the people that live here. this is a perfect example. We're focused all together on one thing, and I think that's really, really cool. We have, and you mentioned it earlier, we haven't seen that in a very long time in our country. It seems like we politicize everything, and but the closeness, the small town feel, and even though we're a growing city, we still kind of retain that small town feel, and it was a great place to grow up, and we want to continue to have it as a great place to grow up. But yeah, I would say just the people. If you want a short answer, that's what I love about this community.
Well, what else do you need people to do? So what you will find out, how do they notify? Is there more spirit things going on, and can other people in the community participate in that, like with the magenta shirts and all that?
Yes. So if they go to our Instagram page, our school Facebook page, Instagram page is LHS Warrior Athletics. Social media. They can find us on social media and see the content that our kids and committee are putting out on these spirit challenges, that type of stuff. And of course, at each one of those places, they're going to find the hashtags to post, and they're going to find the voting link.
It'd be really cool is if everybody else out there, you guys should do what, since we can't get a video from, Tina, and she has her reasons, that's fine. But you guys could all do them. Like, people could put videos together and then post them on your own page. Like, if you guys live in Sweet Home, give them a little love, do a little video of what they're doing and show it off to all your fans, and then post the little thing on there to get everybody in Oregon, from Rome, Oregon, to French Glen, to Seaside, to Port Orford, all of them, and get everybody participating in this. And then when you guys win and kick Arkansas's ass,
well,
then we can say Oregon did it.
Well, that's kind of happening. Last week, I was at the LOC, League of Oregon Cities conference up in Portland. It was the 100th anniversary of the League of Oregon Cities, and I had multiple people. It was mostly city managers, mayors, councilors, those type of people up at the conference. I had multiple people from other cities talk about this and how they're supporting Lebanon. I thought that was very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Well,
the word is getting out there. People are seeing it. It's on the videos. I'm making mine tomorrow. I'm very busy all the time, and Michelle, our communications director for the school district, finally, she's also on the city council. She finally nailed me down to do one tomorrow morning. So,
no, that's good. And then Stephen, the burger flipper, I see a great little video with you flipping, where's the beef, and and showing people what you're doing there.
Yep.
The other thing you guys could do is contact Bill Lundun, Lundun. He does my Crazy Oregon News. He's out of Eugene, out of KPNW, and I know he'll put you on. I'm sure they'll put you on a slot where you could talk to Eugene, Springfield, that area, and you guys get him there as well. So.
Yeah, and we've got a fun little video thing going that Ken's referring to. I did mine today, along with our city manager, our principal a while back. We're kind of doing a spin-off of that old ice bucket challenge thing. So
that's a good idea.
For my video, and I kind of explained the process. Then I called out some ADs across the state of Portland. I kind of went regional, picked somebody out east, someplace in Central Oregon, Southern Oregon. Said, hey, let's get your parts of the state's voting for us, right? And we've got our principal did principals. Our city manager today called out some other city managers. Just having some fun with it that way,
Yeah.
but spreading the word regionally across the state, because this is boiled down to it's a community contest. And right now, with us being the only school in Oregon, our community is Oregon. So I'm with you. Let's bring the prize back to Oregon, not Arkansas.
Amanda, feel free to, if you guys do like a video just explaining stuff, just get a hold of me and you can post it on my page. And
we've got some already made. I'm happy to get you some content.
Okay, yeah. That's awesome. And
I don't know if you know. I mean, you obviously know a lot about social media, but hashtags are super important on a regular basis, but specifically for this contest. So, if you want to do something other than vote to help, share with your community to ask them to vote, but also visit the Lebanon High School Facebook page and Instagram and interact with all of the posts there and use the hashtags that most of the community is using in the posts and comments. And that just boosts our posts being seen when those hashtags are clicked. And then from what I hear is that T-Mobile representatives and people that work there are encouraged to vote daily. And from what I understand that I heard is they're being encouraged to click on the hashtag and like see which school comes up first, you know, just to see who's working the algorithm. And so like hashtags are really important. And so those that we're utilizing are the hashtag FN5GL, hashtag Lebanon, hashtag contest, hashtag FN5GL contest, Warrior Pride, things like that, just to kind of get the attention of the social media algorithm and the way that works. But there's a TikTok page. The high school just started a TikTok page. So there's all sorts of different ways to get involved in addition to voting every day with all valid.
And you guys, you can also take this podcast and just share it on your Facebook page. And I also have this on, it'll be on YouTube. It's on LinkedIn. It's on Spotify as an audio one as well. It's also on Instagram, X, any of those, and you can share it from there. Now, let me give you guys all a little tip. Never share from YouTube to Facebook because they hate each other. They're like little sisters that don't like each other. So you want to go from Facebook to Facebook, and YouTube, you can put it on websites and all that stuff. Companies in your town could take and link from the website, from YouTube, this story on YouTube. They could link it to an email and send it out to all their business clients and have them help participate. So that's something business people can do. I mean, that's pretty exciting, I think. I mean, look at all these. Your whole town is on here right now.
They're all hashtagging right now.
Well, you guys, thank you for Amanda. Thank you so much for what you're doing and for getting this all together.
Thank you for having us. Seriously,
Craig, it's nice to meet all of you guys. And when you win, let's get you back on here and we'll talk about what you're going to do with it. Okay. You notice I said when you win.
Yes.
That's right. It's all in the tongue. Whatever you speak shall happen. So we're going to speak good things. Lebanon's going to win. Arkansas, you might as well back out now because you know the last thing in your name, Arkansas. We saw you, but you're gone. You're done. We're taking over. Oregon's taking this thing over. We love you, but you're not going to stick. You're not going to win this thing. All right, you guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
See you later, guys. Okay, let's go like this. And then our next topic. Oh, I better pull the comment. Well, hello, Shannon. You and I are getting to be regulars here.
Hello, Rick. Yes, we are.
You're going to be starting your own show here pretty soon. Oh, it's nice. It's nice to have you on here. You guys, Amanda is here, or Shannon is here. She's a parent in Roseburg, and she was on the other day because they have a young biological male who identifies as female and is using the girls' locker room. And the girls are not happy about that. They walked out 2 days ago, went to a board meeting that night, and walked out. Is that true? They did walk out today, right?
There was a walkout. I was not aware of it. It was completely student-led. And they had a good little turnout. I saw a couple of videos of it and they had their own signs out there. And the best part for me was it was a lot of boys out there that are standing up for our girls, saying awesome. We're not going to stop. Like we want our girls at school to feel safe. And this is the best way we know how to go about like showing our school how we feel about it. So yeah, it was really nice to see. I know the girls felt great about it. I mean, they felt the support from all the boys and they were very appreciative of them.
You know, that says a lot about young men, doesn't it?
It does. Because,
you know, as a father, I don't have a daughter, but if I had a daughter, I'd be appalled. And that the young men are going, no girls should have to dress in front of a naked man, whether he thinks he's a woman or not, it doesn't matter. That's not what culturally what we do.
Right.
And somebody's asking Braden, saying, yeah, there was a protest outside the school today, Braden. There really was.
Yeah.
what did you hear? What I really wanted to talk with you about, because what I understood from what I was reading online is that the students are saying, we're not going to stop until they stop this. We're going to keep
Right.
walking out. Is that what you understand?
That's what that's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm reading. I don't have all the social media stuff. I mean,
What did you hear at the school? Did you go to the school board meeting?
I did. I spoke at the school board meeting. Yes, last night I read another student's letter. She was a little afraid of reading it. So I read it for her, and I'd never been to a school board meeting before, so it was all new to me. But they let you talk, and other people talk, and then I think once the public leaves, then they talk about everything. So I don't really know how everybody on the board feels about it, but I mean, I was pretty forward with them of how all our community's feeling, most of our community, and the girls, and what we need to see happen to make the girls feel safe.
What have you talked to school board members?
In the public, I have like ran into some and had a few conversations.
You don't have to say who, but what were their feelings?
They supported me. And they told me that they have the same feelings that I do, and that they are doing what they can to make the girls feel safe and to hopefully get a change. I have not seen any of those actions yet, but I'm trying to be patient with them. I know things don't happen overnight, but yeah.
I saw the letter. Did you see the letter they sent out?
I did see the letter that they wrote out.
Wasn't that just gobbledygook?
It was. And for me, that letter that says, we've let all of our female students at Roseburg High know that they have a private bathroom. They have access to a private bathroom. They never told any of those girls. No one was ever approached about any of that.
Right. Don't you? The least they could do. And I had an email from a board member telling me that I was giving out, it didn't say misinformation. I can't remember how it worded, but
okay.
that it was, that I was off base or something like that. But, to me, you need to notify. First of all, I know there's a state law. This is what blows me away, Shannon. I think this is so bizarre. You've got a state law that protects this, that says
yes,
the school districts, they really could lose money from the state if they don't abide by this. But yes. I think this is the same ruling that Trump has said, you don't get to do this anymore. The governor's fighting that. The other thing I find interesting is that here you got a school board who's afraid to lose state funding, but your governor is not afraid to go against the federal government and protect illegal people who are here illegally, calling herself a sanctuary state. And she is not afraid to go up against the federal government and risk losing millions of tax dollars to Oregonians.
Yes.
And, what is that? I don't even know what to call that. It's just such bullshit. So it's okay so there's, and the school board, I think they do need to grow a pair. You know what I mean? Risk. What is more important? You provide the kid with a room, which they have, right?
Right.
So you provide the kid so you have access to this room, but you don't get to stir up the whole community so that you can go in and be with our daughters when you're naked. I'm sorry. And then if the state wants to bring it against you, fight them and say, we've got this thing. Come on. What's more important? Is it the girls, or is it that, and I realize that, but your governor is willing to lose millions of dollars to protect people who are blatantly here illegally. Mm-hmm. And you can't do that for your kids.
I know. It's, I've spoke to a couple of our representatives that are saying, we need to start a petition and get this on the ballot to be voted for. This was just kind of, I don't know the government super well, but this was voted on in the House, like in the state up in Salem. It wasn't voted on by the people. And
this is your legislature that did this. And
yes, it is the legislators that did this. And so I mean, I'm hoping that this is something that can get that started. Let's get a real petition that's going to hold up and kind of like the ones that are for Tina Kotek right now to recall her, to get this on the ballot to be voted for. I think that everybody in the state of Oregon deserves to have a voice in this.
you know what's really sad is that we've gotten to a place in Oregon politics where you have a legislature and they're supposed to create laws that the people want.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the referendum, which was established first in Oregon in the 1900s because people realized that their politicians some of them were full of shit and they weren't going to do it. And they needed a way to do it. And now Governor Brown was one of the worst at changing some of the rules to make it even harder. And now they make it so hard for you to gather signatures that, the same governors who are screaming democracy are making it more and more hard, more difficult for the people to participate in the process. So call bullshit on your democracy stuff. Notice they don't use that much anymore because they know they're total hypocrites when it comes to that.
Absolutely.
But, I'd love to hear, I get it. I understand your school board members are elected. They're doing this for free. They don't get paid. But if you agree with Shannon and the other parents, then why aren't you saying something?
I was told by someone on our board that they can't say that, or they're afraid to say that.
Because you're going to lose your position on the school board. Who cares?
Yeah.
Isn't it more important to stand up for what you think in your heart is right?
Absolutely.
The hell with the school board thing. I mean, I'm glad they're on the school board, but because it's nice to have people that represent people with ideas such as yourself. Mm-hmm. But what good is that if when it comes to things like this, you're not standing up to it?
Right. And I've met with our superintendent. I had a great meeting with him. Jared is a very, very nice man, and he has a student at Roseburg High himself. So I know he probably has his own emotional opinions about this too. And I asked him, like, if this was the other way around, what would be happening, and he told me that, they have to follow the state law. And I said, well, what about the federal law?
Right. The governor doesn't follow the federal law or the state law. So why in the hell does the superintendent of Roseburg High School have to follow the state law?
Yeah. I don't know Jared super well. Like I said, my meeting was really good with him. And I do have hope in what he had to tell me. And, so I am trying to be patient with it, but I feel like in the meantime of trying to get everything changed, that maybe they could sit down and talk to the families of the children that are making everyone feel uncomfortable and say, hey, let's find a happy medium until things get figured out with the state of Oregon. We have boys facilities, we have girls facilities, we have gender neutral facilities, and we have private restrooms. Right. I'm encouraging all the girls, go into that office at Roseburg High School and ask for the private bathroom. And in fact, one of our girls did today, and they said, okay, we'll call you in and talk to you about it later. So she had to go the rest of the day feeling uncomfortable.
Right.
And
so Michelle writes on here, isn't the Title IX rules surrounding this? Yeah. And I think it hasn't Trump. I feel like, and I don't know this, I don't remember. I've got so many things in my head, but I feel like Trump has said, you're risking federal funds if your schools and places are doing this. Mm-hmm. So maybe the schools of Oregon need to get to their attorneys or their people and say, we need to figure this out as a state, because obviously our governor's not listening to what the president's saying. And in the meantime, our girls are being put through this when that is 100% totally out. It's just that it's so wrong that they should even have to deal with this. The adults in the room are supposed to deal with this stuff, and you're supposed to protect your children. And you got girls that are afraid to go in there because, if I was in with a room of guys and a girl came in and was undressing in the room, I'd feel uncomfortable.
Absolutely.
That's just. I'm sorry. That's just weird.
Mhm.
And so now we're expecting, and I think guys, that you'd think, oh, guys are going, oh yeah, there's a naked lady, but this is not acceptable. And the fact that you
No, it's
have
not.
boys out there from your school standing up with these girls saying this is not right, that tells me a ton.
Absolutely. Bringing that up, I just want to thank the students and our community members and the parents that were there yesterday. Um, they had signs, they stood on the road, and they, supported one another. Everybody was respectful. We had, the honking that was going on, because we had signs that says, honk for girls' privacy. And it was amazing to see our community come behind us.
So people, remember how you and I talked on the show, and we had said, no, don't put out any weird signs that are nasty or mean, so they didn't.
They didn't.
Yeah.
If I don't have a problem being honest, I did ask a group like, let's not yell across the street. There were people across the street that had other signs that I guess were against us, but I want them to know it's not that we're against them.
Right. See, that's what I think people need to know. And you're not, and I'm not against people. If people want to identify how they want to, that's fine. But they're providing places for you to go. And it's not like you're excluded from anything.
No.
But because you never were included. All the other boys, what if all the other boys in the school decided they all wanted to start going into the women's locker room? Maybe that's what they should do.
There could be
all the girls start
a
going
boy that has ulterior motives that's going to do that, and then what?
That's a walkout. We're walking into the boys' locker room, and we're not going to leave. I mean, what are you going to do then if you have everybody doing it? But they've gone out of their way to provide a place for these young these people who identify as trans.
Mm-hmm.
And then so it shouldn't be running the entire school.
No.
And causing people to feel uncomfortable, because I know that these boys, if they identify as a woman, may say, I feel uncomfortable going into the men's locker room, which is why I want to go into the women's locker room.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we have a space for you, but you don't get to go into the women's. You can go into the men's, but if that makes you uncomfortable, we want to make you comfortable, but here's a place you can go. Here's a locker room, a private locker room where you can go by yourself.
Right. And I know there's not just one at Roseburg High School. There are a handful that I know of. I don't know every student. We have over 1,600 students at Roseburg High. But I do know that there are a handful of them, and there's probably more. And so they do have a space to use, and
they should, and they do. And so you're being as inclusive as you can, but to just put a whole group of students, a large group of students at risk, and they can laugh at that because, oh, what are they at risk for? We're not going to do anything. Well, here's the thing. You're making them uncomfortable. The way you feel going into the men's locker room when you identify as a woman and you're a man, that's how they're feeling when you're walking in there. So do unto others. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's just, it makes me angry because
it is.
It's
heartbreaking
totally fixable. Yeah, it's totally fixable, but I really do feel like, your board members need to, and maybe board members all over the state, the school districts need to go in and say, we got to get this figured out, because here's what Trump says. Right. Here's what Tina says, but Tina doesn't run the world. She thinks she owns the world, but maybe she's wrong. And maybe if these board members stood up for what they believed in and went after it, something would happen. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, but you know what?
Yeah, me neither.
I
will say, I do think this is that I know of, like, the first time that this has been really talked about in the magnitude that it is being talked about at Roseburg High. And we are a small community. I know a lot of people that know board members, the school board members that have good things to say about them. So I am doing everything I can to have patience and to have hope. And I do hope that they're doing something behind the door that, the public doesn't get to see, because their meetings aren't open to the whole meeting's not open.
Well, here's the other thing, Shannon. I'm going to butt in on you here a little
bit.
Go
ahead.
The school board, they shouldn't do anything behind your back, because they work for you. They're an elected board. And so if they have ideas, I get it that they can't let everything out, But at
Right.
some point, I kind of don't get it, because it's like, listen, we're looking into it. It's as easy as saying, we're looking into it. We've got some angles we're going for. We're trying to make this work, but it's up to the community to keep the pressure on. And if you know school board members, then
Mhm.
call them and say, what are you doing? Because I mean, you are the people who elect them and they
Right.
work for you. So why can't you know what they're doing?
Right. Absolutely. And they're, I'm sure just like any other board, you have to post your minutes and all of that. And I could go down that rabbit hole and read all of that, I'm sure. And I haven't yet. I've been reading so many other articles and messages that I'm getting from people. And so, like I said, I'm frustrated with the board. But at the same time, I am trying to be a little bit patient in a way, but I want them to do something for the girls in the meantime.
Yeah,
Turning
where do they
someone away
go?
from the office that came to you today to say, I don't feel comfortable. I mean, there's girls that are having anxiety from this. What about their mental health state now?
Yeah, give them a classroom and let them get dressed in there,
Right.
which is so freaking stupid.
Well, and then
To
we
have a
have
locker room, and that's so dumb. But you know what? If that's how gutless they are, then give them some place that they can go do what they need to do on their own,
Mhm.
and not have to be stressed out by that. I
Right.
mean, I'm trying to be in my head. I'm trying to be like, I put myself in there, and I looked at one school board member because he wrote me and looked at his page, and we probably agree on a lot of things. But it's
Right.
like, when you're there really for the kids, and if you've got that many girls that are, and now boys that
Mhm.
are that are saying that, no, this isn't right, then you've got to go and find a better solution, because you've provided one for these people that are identifying as trans. You've
Mhm.
found an option. Apparently, what I'm seeing here is that they've said they don't want that. They want to go in that room. So then you got to ask
Mhm.
yourself, what's that all about?
Right. And I'm
Right?
with
Why
me.
won't they ask? That's the part, because everybody's afraid, and you got to
They
stop
are.
being afraid.
Yes, you have to stand up.
Like,
You have to
you can
stand up.
be
I had
compassionate.
a parent of a trans student messaging me that I've known in this town forever, and I'm like, I'm standing up for my daughter and all the other girls, and I'm not saying, like, stand up for your child too. Like, if they are feeling uncomfortable, let's all talk about it. Let's come to an agreement.
Right.
And find some middle ground with everybody.
'Cause
I feel for the students that identify as trans, and I can only imagine how they feel, if they were forced to go into that other locker room. And I'm not asking for that.
no.
I'm asking for their essentially to
Well,
have three.
but what you're
And
saying,
and
but let me clarify something, because what you're saying, Shannon, is you feel sorry for them if they were, like, if a male is identifying as a female and he was forced to go only into the men's locker room, you would know
correct.
that's what you sympathize with.
I do. I
Right.
do.
But then why is it okay that he gets to do the exact opposite to all those girls?
Right.
That's what's not fair. That's what's
Correct.
not, it's not fair. It's not
It's
right.
not.
That's what
It's
not
not fair.
right is, because all of us, me too, you have to give them a private place to go dress, these kids that identify as trans, because they're going through hard stuff. They've got some stuff going on in their life, and they deserve that. You
Absolutely.
don't get to run the school and then traumatize all these other students because of the things you're going through.
Absolutely.
That isn't how life works. You deal with your shit and let other people deal with theirs.
You
But
know,
if we've
last
given you
night,
options, you get to take the options, or you
right.
don't do it.
Last night at the school board meeting, a student got up and spoke, and he spoke very well. And he, I think, sides with both sides of this. He has friends that are transgender, and so he feels for them, and I understand that. But he also feels for our girls, and I was so proud of him for telling the school board, like, "Hey, I feel for both sides. I don't want the girls to feel unsafe. So come on, Roseburg High, come on, school board. Let's figure something out for everybody." And I was so proud of him for getting up and talking in front of everyone, and seeing both sides, and that's what I'm trying to say. I see both sides too. Am I here sticking up for the girls? Absolutely, because it is a big problem right now. But I'm not going to put a name out there, but you know who you are. And I'm so proud of you for getting up and talking. And you did such a good job, and for sticking up for your friends and the transgender community and for our girls. He stuck up for the girls and said, I want them to feel safe. I don't want them to feel the way that they're feeling. And I thought that was amazing.
That might be the question you ask the board members. Do you want our girls to feel unsafe?
I know.
Because the actions that you're taking are making them feel unsafe. So we understand the governor did this in the legislature with the law.
Right.
Are you going to fight the law? And you can tell me that because I pay the school district, and I elected you. So you can tell me, are you going to fight for this, or are you hoping it just goes away? Because if you're hoping it goes away, then we're going to have a problem.
Right. Well, I'll tell you, it's not going to go away. I will be at the next meeting to speak again. I will tell you, Rick, that the hard part for me yesterday was some of the admin from Roseburg High that there was a girl told that if she went out and exercised her First Amendment right for her freedom of speech and to do the walkout, that she would be suspended from school. There were athletes that were told they were going to have to run if they did it. There were athletes told they were going to be possibly removed from their squad. And then, another thing that was said that I was told by students, that I did not hear this from admin. But it was a scary thing for the kids is, now there's a rumor going around that they're going to take homecoming away from us. And I'm just like, what? Like these students are, there's students, there's student athletes, there's so many of them.
Some of that could be rumor, and some of it
100% it could be rumor. And I bring it up because there's so many of the kids that were afraid of that. And I'm like, it's, I don't think that the admin would do that. I would be very surprised if they did. But if you are thinking about it, don't do it.
Pretty upset. But here's the other thing that we all are learning in this world that we live in now is the free speech is not free.
It's not.
There's a cost, because you're paying a cost by sitting here on talking to me. I pay a cost by asking the questions that I ask.
Right.
But if we don't, God didn't make us to be mamsy pamsies, you know, and if you believe in something, you got to stand up for it,
Absolutely.
And, maybe all those kids, instead of, maybe if they won't let them walk out, they all go just join each other in the same locker room and just do a locker room sit in or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or meet somewhere, just sit
good
somewhere.
On them that they're good on them that they're being passionate and kind.
Proud.
And again, just for the record, for everybody, don't try to make this into we're transphobe or we're anti-gay or we're anti-transphobe, trans people or any of that. That has nothing to do with this.
Absolutely
we're
not.
Pro girls being safe in our schools, and the district needs to provide an alternate source for these kids who feel like they're trans. They need to, allegedly, that I'm hearing they have. So if they have, then they need, then we've given you an option. And you get to take it or you don't take it. But we're not going to put everybody else in the whole school at risk and in a conundrum because of a few people who won't take the alternative that we've offered. If I was a school board member, that's what I would say. And if they wanted me off the school board, then I'd walk my ass off the school board and say, fine. You know what?
Rick, I'm really hoping that is what some of our school board members talked about last night. And I really hope that is something that they can come together on.
Stand up to not to these people. Stand up to the idea. You've offered what you can offer, and now if the people don't take it, then you don't inconvenience. That's what our world does right now, and I'm so sick of it.
Yeah,
you inconvenience everyone else because you want to have something that you want to have. Well, I'm sorry that you are experiencing what you're experiencing, but you're dealing with it. And I honor the fact that you get to do that because you have free choice.
Right.
But I don't have to celebrate it with you. And I don't have to modify my entire life because of you.
Right.
You get to modify your life. I modify my life in a different way, but you don't get to run, 3 people don't get to run an entire school district. That's not how it's worked.
No, I really struggle with the fact that
I do too. It's just
it
like,
can't be boys and boys facilities, girls and girls facilities, and those that identify as something else, as transgender or whatever, or even those that are just uncomfortable in general.
right.
Can
There's
use
some
the gender
boys and girls
neutral
that don't
or
want
a
to
private
dress.
bathroom.
Right.
Yeah.
So take the alternative, but you can't, like if a girl felt uncomfortable dressing around other girls, here's a private room. If she says, well, I don't want that. I want my own locker room.
They wouldn't do that.
We can't provide, you're right. We
They
can't
wouldn't do
provide
that for
a
her.
locker room for you
Right.
to go into.
Right.
And I wonder what they would do if it was a girl. Here's something you could try. What if a girl wants to identify as a boy and she wants to go dress in the boys' bathroom?
Right. I have yet to hear of that. I do know that there are some students that are biological female that are transitioning or identify
Yeah.
as. I do know that we have those in the community and at Roseburg High, but I have yet to hear of them using the boys' facilities or anything of the sort.
Right. Yeah, I have
I'm not
friends in the
sure.
trans community, and it's like but they don't do that.
Yeah, I don't
They,
know.
they're nice people. They're just trying to get along with the world. They're trying to figure out their world and
Right.
not take everybody else's down with it as they're doing
Absolutely.
it. So,
Yeah.
Shannon, thank you so much for just
Thank you,
kind
Rick.
of getting on board and letting us discuss this thing.
Hey, one more thing before I go.
Anytime, sweetie.
I voted for you, Lebanon, and I will be voting for you tomorrow too. I will post you on my Facebook. I think it's wonderful that we have a school in Oregon that is in the running. So you got my vote.
That's so sweet of you. Yeah, don't you think that would be a cool thing to get your students, to get the girls' minds off of this?
Yeah.
Take that to them and say, okay, you know what? Let's do something really positive for our neighbors.
Yeah.
They're Oregonians and they're doing this, and let's go and get their minds off of it.
Yeah.
So it's something positive they can do. Maybe when they're out protesting, they could have a vote for Lebanon signs.
Right. Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
No,
You could have dual signs. So you have,
Mhm.
give me my privacy and vote for Lebanon,
And vote for Lebanon.
Oregon for this
Yes.
thing, and put the QR code on there for them. And we'll
Yeah.
just, you know what we should do? We should just quietly take over Oregon.
Let's do it.
Let's make it a land of common sense again, a place,
Yeah.
an empire where pioneers came.
Yeah.
And
A place
could
where
be
people
independent,
respect
but they
everybody.
work together.
Yes.
So,
Work together. Absolutely.
Let's do that.
Yes.
Okay, we're going to secretly do that, and then what will happen is anybody that's too weak to join on that they'll just kind of dissipate and fall away.
But maybe they'll hear us and want to be a part of that movement too.
You are the most positive person. We do get together because I'm all this like rah rah rah, and you're always like, oh no, whatever. But see, we work well together.
I got 2 girls. I have to.
You have to be one of those.
I do. I want them to know, stick up for yourselves and be respectful and have a little bit of hope in some people. So we're doing our best. Come on, Roseburg School Board. We have some hope. So let's see the support and see the action.
You're a nice person. I like you.
Thanks.
All right. Keep in touch with me. See you, Shannon.
Sounds good. Have a good night.
You guys, so take this and share it on your page and share it with other people in Roseburg. And, I'm not saying I'm 100% right. I'm just giving my opinion. That's what I do on here. But I have enough knowledge to know that, to smell a rat when I smell a rat. And I mean, if I don't know. If you serve on the school board and you've got girls that I don't know. I get it. Yeah, I know you have rules. I know you have laws you have to follow, but you also have a conscience and a heart, right? And you've offered a place for this person, these people, these folks that are uncomfortable to be. But do you take 30 or 40 or 50 girls and inconvenience them for just a few? I don't know. Yeah. Tracy Van Dolen had put it right. Spines. All right. Share this on your page. That's it for this week. God, my wife goes, you've been doing shows almost every night. When I come back to Oregon, you guys keep me really busy. I'll be back at Montana next week. We are going to be real quick, going to be talking with Bill, the guy behind the Recall Tina Kotek move. But I want you to know, so if you want to recall Kotek, you need to go to OregonForThePeople.com, FOR, OregonForThePeople.com, and go on there and sign. That you can download the petition and you can sign it. Be very careful how you do it. There's instructions on there. There's also, that big tax bill that Governor Kotex and all the Democrats shoved over on you, and it's forcing you. The gas is going to go way up and all that. You can stop it. But she's dragging her feet on this. So you're going to have to be fast, and they need help. They need volunteers. NoTaxOR.com. So it's No Tax Oregon, NoTaxOR.com. And you go on there and you can sign up and get involved with what they're doing. They can't do it yet, because here's the deal. Once the bill is signed by the legislature, the governor still has to sign it. That's when the time starts for them to gather signatures. So they have 90 days to gather signatures. But the governor can stall, and is, for 30 days. So she's stalling right now to give them less time. But remember, this is the governor of democracy. She wants you all to have a say. She just doesn't want you to have a say on this. So you need to get on there. They need volunteers all over, in Lebanon, Sweet Home, Coos Bay, Roseburg, all over the place, just to get the signatures, because it's going to be down and dirty and fast. And then you're going to put that on the ballot, and then you're going to vote, and you're going to show her why she works for you and why she doesn't. You don't work for her. And you can repeal those taxes, because you don't deserve to have any more taxes. You're already taxed up the yin yang, and it's ridiculous. All right, I'll get off my bandwagon for now until tomorrow. All right, good night, you guys. Share it. Love you. Oregon.